I glanced around the dimly lit office, my heart pounding in my chest. It was well past midnight, and I found myself alone, surrounded by the eerie silence that seemed to have swallowed the building whole. I couldn't shake off the feeling that something was terribly wrong. As the night wore on, strange occurrences became more frequent. The flickering lights cast eerie shadows on the walls, and a cold draft seemed to sweep through the office, despite the windows being securely shut. I could hear the faint sound of laughter echoing down the hallway, but there was no one there. I tried to focus on my work, but the unease continued to gnaw at the back of my mind. The computer screen flickered, and the printer suddenly sprung to life, churning out pages of gibberish. I shivered, feeling as though I was being watched. Unable to ignore the growing sense of dread, I decided to investigate. The hallways were eerily quiet as I made my way towards the source of the laughter. The further I walked, the colder it became, my breath visible in the air. Each step felt heavy, as if I was being pulled deeper into the unknown. Suddenly, a door creaked open, revealing a pitch-black room. Hesitant, I cautiously stepped inside. The air was heavy with a metallic scent, and my heart pounded in my ears. I fumbled for the light switch, but it refused to work. Panic began to rise within me. Then, a whisper seemed to fill the room, chilling me to the bone. "Get out," it hissed, the voice barely audible, but undeniably sinister. I tried to run, but an invisible force held me in place. "Leave while you still can," the voice continued, growing louder and more menacing. With a sudden burst of courage, I broke free from the invisible grip and sprinted out of the room. The hallways seemed to stretch endlessly before me, the walls closing in, and the laughter grew louder, echoing through the empty space. I stumbled upon the office manager's room, hoping to find some solace or answers. As I pushed the door open, I froze in terror. The room was adorned with eerie symbols and flickering candles. Books lined the shelves, their pages filled with sinister drawings and incantations. Just as I was about to turn and run, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was the office manager, but something was horribly wrong. His eyes were empty voids, and his skin was pale and decayed. He smiled, his voice dripping with malice, "Welcome to your eternal nightmare." I screamed, desperately trying to escape, but the room seemed to morph around me. The walls twisted and contorted, trapping me inside. The laughter grew louder, deafening me as it reverberated in my ears. Shadows danced along the walls, taking on grotesque shapes, taunting me. Time lost all meaning as I fought against the horrors that surrounded me. The office had become a twisted labyrinth of nightmares, each room holding its own malevolent secret. There was no escape, no respite from the terror that had consumed the once familiar space. And so I remain, trapped in this haunted office, a prisoner of my own fears. The darkness has claimed me, and I am forever entwined in its grasp. If you ever find yourself in this place, heed my warning, leave while you still can, for once the horrors take hold, there is no escape.